guys, Chelsea here. So I haven't done like a bookish type video in a really long time, and then I saw another booktuber who I will link down below make a video about her spring books that she read, and I thought that's genius. I've read a lot of books over spring, which is like March, April, and May. What better of a way to summarize all these books I've read in just one video? So I'm going to tell you the books I read, which I will also link down below to my Goodreads account so you can see like the full review. I'm going to tell you guys what star I gave it if you want to decide by that if you want to read it. So I'm going to give you the star, but I'll have the full review all on my Goodreads account. So the first book I read in March was Switched, which is part of the Trylle trilogy book series, which is book number 1, and I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. It is Clockwork Angel, which is a part of the Infernal Devices series, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. 5 stars as well. Miss Peregrine's Home for the Peculiar Children. This is the first book in the series, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I read Goddess Interrupted, which I don't own, so I'll put a picture right here, which is the second book in the Goddess Test series, and I gave that a 3 out of 5 stars. Scarlet, which is book number 2 in the Lunar Chronicles series, which is, I'm obsessed with this entire series. I don't own it, but it's one of those series that I want to buy every single book, even though I've already read it, just so I can have it on my bookshelf, because it's one of my favorites. I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read Cress, which is also the next book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I gave that one a 4 out of 5 stars. Clockwork Prince, which is the second book in the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Clockwork Princess, number 3 in the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Hollow City, which is the second book in Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was marked House of Night, which I gave a 1 out of 5 stars. I will probably be donating this to my local library just because I'm not interested in reading the rest of the series. I also read Letter to a Christian Nation. I wouldn't really consider this a book, but I did read it online and I just wanted to get some insight, and I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I read that, and it was a 3 out of 5 stars for me. Anna and the French Kiss, which is the first book in this series, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I read Crewel by Jennifer Albin. I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be continuing on with this series. I'm considering donating it to my local library just like I did I'm going to with Mark. The Bronze Horseman, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The Ruby Circle, the last book in the Bloodlines series, which I was really holding off on reading this forever because I just didn't want this series to end. Rochelle Mead has become one of my favorite authors. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. And last but not least, I also read The Heir of the Selection series, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. And that did it for all of the books I read this spring. I was able to read a total of 18 books in 3 months. My goal is to read 60 books by the end of the year, which I'm really close to. I think I'm halfway, which is perfect timing. Actually, I think I'm like 5 books ahead right now. So, yay for goals. I am now going to tell you my top 3 books that I read this season. So for my top 3 books I read this season, I'm going to choose in no particular order. These are my top 3. Scarlet in the Lunar Chronicles series was one of my top ones for sure. That entire series was amazing. Second book out of my top 3, I'm going to say, is Hollow City, or not Hollow City, but Miss Peregrine's Home of the Peculiar Children. This series entirely, I finished this what's come out for this series this season. This is why I don't make book videos very often. I just stumble upon my words all the time. And my last one, which I'm going to just include all the books in the series because they were all amazing, but the last one for sure was my favorite and had me in so many tears, was Clockwork Princess in the Infernal Devices series. This series is amazing as a whole, and if you have not got your hands on it, I highly, highly recommend it. That is all for all my books I read this season in March, April, and May. I really hope that you enjoyed this, and if you want more videos like this, comment down below, and I will try to make some more. Hopefully I'm probably going to get around to doing it like once a season. But thanks for watching the video. Bye!